Hello. Good afternoon to all of you, and welcome to our Technology for Evolving Challenge in Humanitarian Context or Tech for Resilience Challenge webinar. Thank you so much for making time and for showing interest in the Tech for Resilience Challenge. We'll be hosting a webinar today that will give you more context about the Tech for Resilience Challenge, application process, and also the eligibility for the Tech for Resilience Challenge. I'm gonna give a minute to just allow more people to join in before we could start the webinar. Yeah, I see more people are joining in now. Let me start by introduction. So my name is Gerard David. I am the innovation lead with Global Resilience Partnership. I'm based out here in Tanzania. Been working with GRP for the past 2.5 years, leading on the innovation challenges across the ODA eligible countries. And yeah, I welcome you all for this webinar. I will pass over to my colleague Jesper to introduce himself as a panelist.
Thank you. Gerald. Pleasure to meet everyone. Gerald, do you want me to just introduce myself or should I present?
Just the introduction of the
Oh,
panel.
fine. Okay, that's the easy bit then. I'm Jesper Hornberg. I'm the CEO of GRP, and it's a pleasure to meet you all, and I'll speak to you in a little bit.
Thank you. Simone?
Hi everyone, my name is Simone Kaart. I'm the program director at GRP and I oversee our innovation work. I'll be off camera because I'm answering your questions in the background once we get to the Q&A.
Thank you. Ida?
Hi everyone, I lead comms at GRP and I'll be working on the background doing all the tech stuff. Not tech as in this challenge, I realize that. Anything related to this webinar, if you're having any issues with sound or noise or anything like that, you can write to me and I can try to get it sorted. Thank you.
Thank you, Ida. Shandy?
Hi everyone, I am Shandy and I am the mail manager at GRP. And I'll be helping you in terms of monitoring evaluation questions in the chat. Karina?
Thank you, Shandy. I'm Karina. I'm head of strategy in Mel, and I'll be supporting you on any Mel-related questions along with Shandy. Back to you, Gerald.
Thank you. Do we have Hamisi already chatting?
Not yet.
All right, thanks. So we'll go ahead and he will introduce Sikam. So just a quick look into the housekeeping rules. So please mute yourself when entering the webinar. Introduce yourself in the chat if you can. Ensure you raise your hands when you want to speak out of turn or if you want to ask a question. You're encouraged to ask questions for the challenge in the second half of the webinar. So once we've done with the presentations, you're welcome to post your question in the Q&A, but also to raise the hand to ask your question verbally. Please, as Ida has introduced herself, reach out to her in case of any technical issues during the webinar. She'll be helping to sort that out. And also just be reminded the webinar will be recorded and will be shared online after this session. For that, I'll just introduce a little bit of agenda. So we've had an intro, and then we'll have an opening remark from our CEO, Jesper. You've just heard from him. I will also be providing you with a context about the Tech for Resilience, guidelines for applications, eligibility, and also anything else. And then we will have an experience sharing from one of our previous winner of the Innovation Challenge within GRP. He will be sharing you the journey of working with Innovation Challenge at GRP. And then we will open the session for Q&A, and you're welcome to post your question on the Q&A chat, which is available on your Zoom link. You can see on the below bar, there'll be a Q&A there. And also raise your hands to ask any question you might have. In that regards, I would like to welcome Jesper to give us an opening remark and an introduction for the GRP. Jesper, karibu.
Santa, thank you, Gerald. Well, it's a pleasure to see so many new names in the attendee list. You might be new to what GRP does. I'll try to give you a brief overview of that. What you see on this picture is some of the secretariat. We have a secretariat that is spread across the world, and we work with a fairly small secretariat, but we have a lot of different tentacles out there to different, well, institutions, companies, and also just individuals and consultants that we work with. I can go to the next slide, Gerald. Thank you. We were actually set up 2014, so we recently turned 11, so we need to update the slide. But we were set up to advance resilience, and I want to talk a little bit about how we look at resilience. Resilience is the ability to live with change and prosper in the face of change. So it's really that. It's not to cope with and recover from shock and stress, but it's actually to transform. So the transformative part is very important. We deliver this. We think of, we have three legs that we stand on. One is knowledge. We have a base and a lot of people in our team based at Stockholm Resilience Center. So we really value fact and science and evidence of what resilience is. And we spend a lot of time thinking about that, which you can explore on the website. I will not bore you now. The next one is policy. We organize and try to convene as much as possible different voices from the global south and north, but a focus on the global south at various climate conferences around the world. So we've run the Resilience Hub with some partners for the past 5 years at COP, and we're doing the same at London Climate Action Week and New York Climate Week, and looking to expand that work. Very important to give a platform and a voice. And the final one, which is what we're sort of spending time with here today, is innovation. And that is to surface new innovation that builds resilience. And as you probably have looked, we do this in different themes. We do it with different geographical scope and so on. But it's really to create that ecosystem where new innovation can thrive and be connected with the relevant players, be that funders, be that knowledge, be that each other. Peer-to-peer learning is very important. And then also, and Gerald will go through this in a little bit, provide mentoring from experienced professionals, entrepreneurs, and others where relevant, as well as some leadership training and networking and so on. We can go to the next slide, Gerald. Thank you. You don't need to remember this slide, obviously, but just to show that we're a partnership, and we have about 90 partners, and that number goes up and down a little bit. But these come from the private sector, civil society, multilaterals, governments, and private sector, and so on. So it's a real mix. We have an ask from our partners that they need to work with us and invest. So the organizations and the logos you see on this page, most of them are actually doing quite a lot with us. It obviously also goes in waves. So you have intense periods and not so intense periods. Next slide, please. Which I think you can, yeah, this is a repetition of the partners we have and the team that is working at GRP. So I think we can go to the next slide. Thanks, Gerald. Just a few numbers. Set up in 2014. We've invested quite a bit over $45 million now, over the 50 mark, in resilience initiatives around the world. We started off mainly in the Horn of Africa, so basically East Africa and West Africa with a generous kind of definition, and Southeast Asia. We've expanded that since, so we are now working across Africa, Asia, Latin America, and the Caribbean and the Pacific. So really no geographical kind of limitation to what we do. You see some other numbers here of people that have been supported. The social media following we have, the platform, part of that is due to the Resilience Hub I mentioned, and part of that is just because people follow the GRP channels. So it's a good platform to be highlighted and so on if you work in this space. Next slide, please, which is my final slide. Thank you. This is just to illustrate where we have initiatives and projects. A dot does not mean one project. A dot means that we are active in that country. We're as you see, quite focused on the global south, and that's where we see that this challenge also makes the most sense. With that, I'll hand back to you, Gerald.
Thank you so much, Jesper, for that overview of the GRP work and including this. So I will just go directly to give you a context about the TECH4Resilience Innovation Challenge. The Technology for Evolving Challenge in Humanitarian Context, the Resilience Challenge, it seeks to convert innovative, good ideas that improves humanitarian preparedness and response programming and scale them to sustainable initiative. So this is targeting to area that have humanitarian preparedness needs, but also looking for ideas that use AI to kind of advance the work that is being done in that context. We're looking for proposals that are focusing on identifying the AI innovations that can address and also mitigate the effects of the extreme climate events in the emergence or strengthen them and improve anticipatory action frameworks in the emergencies. So this should focus on all countries that we'll be talking in shortly about those kind of innovations that we're looking at. The initiative also prioritizes locally led innovators. So we're looking the locally led innovators that have ideas that address their local context, that actually work and also build resilience for women and youth. And the target here is actually above 50% beneficiaries has to be considered women or youth in that context. So any initiatives that fall under that is locally led, implemented in those countries, is welcome to be submitted. So this is a call for AI-driven solutions that can strengthen resilience, as I said, in the extreme climate events and improve anticipatory actions in emergencies. So innovators are invited to propose and submit their scalable technologies that use artificial intelligence. There's been a growing use of artificial intelligence, but sometimes not in a good way. So we invite people innovators to come and submit their proposals that use the AI, to detect, predict, or respond to extreme climate hazards, and to support vulnerable communities through early actions that will build their resilience, but also improve their way of adapting to such extreme events. This challenge also aims to accelerate the breakthrough solutions that can enhance decision making, reach the most at risk and help avert the worst outcomes of the crises through smart, fast, and more targeted intervention. So AI could be an aid to actually make sure that there's a solutions that can be, taken to the ground to help, alleviate or prevent the worst outcomes of the crises in the humanitarian context. And example of the solutions we're looking for, there's hyperlocal early warning systems for floods, tornadoes, and everything like that. Anticipatory cash triggers in somewhere where the cash works to support the humanitarian context. Such as the health resilience AI, how the AI can be used, to advance the resilience within the health sector. Heat risk mapping for urban poor. There's quite extreme heat, for instance, in some of the global south countries are facing during the summer periods, and we invite the AI solutions that could address or provide information of how heat, it's distributed across these areas for the urban poor. And also, for instance, like index insurance optimization. These are the kind of AI solutions that we're looking, should be locally led solutions that can address these kind of extreme events in the humanitarian context. So the key features for the TECH4Resilience challenge, what the finalists and winners expected to receive. from participating in the TECH4Resilience challenge. So there's mentoring and incubation. So GRP provides a customized or tailored mentorship, support to finalists and also winners of the challenge. We have a number of mentors that are available within GRP that have skill sets on different areas, including tech and AI, that will be providing you support to refine your idea, to work on the gaps or any challenges that you have identified, to come up with the better solutions that can be investor ready for external financier and so forth. We also do the Leadership Academy, whereby we invite all the finalists to come together in person or visually sometimes, to actually learn about the leadership skills that is offered with our most experienced leadership trainers within GRP. And for this tech challenge, we anticipate to have a Leadership Academy sometimes in October, as you can read on our guideline for applications. We also provide support on resource or investment mobilization, and we do this through what we call the Investor Forum. So within our innovation challenges, we do hold these investor forums in different climate weeks across the globe. We did hold an investor forum last year during the New York Climate Week, whereby winners of the challenges from 2023 were invited to pitch their ideas to the potential funders and investors, and also being helped to follow up on the potential deal or any financing they can be able. So the work of our mentors and also our internal team from Com Support are also helping to make sure that innovators that receive funding from GRP are able to scale their ideas through an external financing under the resource mobilization or investment mobilization. You will also be able to get communication support from our dedicated communication team that will help you in, among others, refine the pitches, make it more presentable, and also provide you with a more customized communication support to, tell your story to the stakeholders or to anybody that wants to hear that, and refine how you communicate your idea, but also your impact to the wider audience. We do also have monitoring, evaluation, and learning support, and this is to help you now understand what kind of impact are you targeting to reach. How can you, work with your indicators to make sure that you're actually addressing the challenges that is aligned to the challenges that we're calling for, but also are guiding you through the whole process in terms of reporting, and making sure that you have the right support on any mail-related activities. So these are the kind of support that you can expect to receive as part of the TECH4Resilience challenge. And last but not least, we provide funding of up to $50,000 for the selected winners of the challenge, and these will be announced sometimes in early November this year, as you can read through our guideline for applications and also the news item that is available on our website. TECH4Resilience challenge timelines. What are the timelines we're looking at? So the challenge was opened on the 1st of August in 2025. We can get this information through our website, but also on our social media handlers for both LinkedIn, Facebook, and others, and Twitter. The deadline for submissions is on the 31st August 2025 at 25:59 hours GMT. So that system will close automatically, and we will not accept any applications beyond that deadline time. So make sure that if you have your application on the draft within submittable, make sure that you work on that and click submit button before the deadline time. But also you're welcome to send any question or any queries regarding the submittable and the application process on the dedicated challenge fund email that is provided in the guideline for application, and we'll be able to get back to you as soon as possible to answer your question. The successful and unsuccessful applicants will be contacted by 30 September this year. So we will be announcing the finalists by end of the September after we do a rigorous review and shortlist of the applications. Successful applicants will be provided support to further develop their projects during October to mid-November 2025. So this includes working with a mentor. So each project will be paired with a specific mentor that will help to further develop your idea, refine it a little bit, and also will participate in the Visual Leadership Academy, which will be held also in October this year. So the mentorship support will be between when we announce the finalists up to when we will announce the winners. Winners will be announced and contracted in mid-November 2025, as I mentioned, and mentoring, communication, and mail support will be provided from December 2025 to December 2026. So the winners are expected to implement their solutions between December 2025 to December 2026 with some reporting requirements, which will be provided once we announce the winners. And as I've said, the Visual Leadership Academy will take place in October 2025. More information will be provided as we approach the dates. What is the eligibility for this challenge? So we are looking for AI solutions that must either address and mitigate the effects of extreme climate events or strengthen and improve anticipatory action framework in emergencies. The challenge is open to both not-for-profit and for-profit registered organizations across the official development assistance as defined by OECD TAC emergence contexts and exclusion. And mark this exclusion of Cuba, Iran, North Korea, Syria, the Crimea region of Ukraine. So these are countries that are not eligible to submit application, but otherwise all other OECD DAC in emergence context countries as defined by the ODA are eligible to submit the application. We received a couple of questions on the email, like Egypt is eligible, Egypt is eligible, and some other countries that people have been sending email, except on these countries that is highlighted here. You have to ensure that the team has proven experience in implementing innovative solutions for resilience. Make sure that the team has been working on that and has the relevant experience to implement that. So once provided funding, we expect the team to go on the ground and implement that solution to advance the resilience in that context. The proposal should consider gender, as we mentioned during my first two slides. We're looking at above 50%, focusing on youth and women. Should be an equity within that, and there should be a consideration of human rights within that proposal. So no harm to human rights. And also the solution does not harm, does not have negative impacts to communities it designed to build resilience in. So these are the eligible criteria that you can find also within the guideline of application, but also when you register on the submittable, you get first to see the the guidelines for applications, which include all of this information, and of course the email to submit any further question written if you want more clarification on this. We do also have an evaluation criteria, so we provide transparency in terms of how we evaluate and shortlist and also select winners for this challenge. And these are in detail provided within the guideline for applications. When we say innovativeness scores between 0 and 15, we actually provide more context in terms of how the innovativeness of the program and how the score is divided as to this criteria. Also potential for impact, equity, scalability, profitability and sustainability, team composition, and risk. So more information, if you want to read more about the criteria for evaluation, just visit the website or visit the submittable page. Once you register, you will find this as the first part of your application process, and you're able to read these in more details. And you're welcome to send any questions, but also the email that is available within our application portal, the Challenge Fund at Global Resilience Partnership, but also get in touch specifically if you have any other question. I would like to see whether Hamisi has joined. Maybe Ida or Simon can help me with that.
Yes, Gerald, I'm in.
Great. So in that case, I would like to hand over to Hamisi Said Hinja. He wasn't introduced at the first, so he could introduce himself. Hamisi is one of our first winners of the innovation challenge called RAIN 2023, and has been working with GRP for the past 3 years. and could share experience in terms of how the process works, how the application process works, how the onboarding and awards works, and also how the post award works within GRP. So welcome, Hamisi. Can you introduce yourself and share your experience with the potential applicants we have here?
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Gerald. And hi, everyone. My name is Hamisi Saidi Hincha. I'm working with FSPN Africa. It is a non-governmental organization that is operating in East Africa. We've been part of RAIN Challenge, which is cohort 1, and now we are lucky to be part of cohort 3. And basically, our intervention is CAFESAP, that is carbon farming for agricultural and profitability and sustainability. It is really interesting to share the experience, and every time when I get this opportunity, I'm really moved to express how grateful as applicants and of course beneficiaries for RAIN we are. The application is very simple. It has got, there's a massive support in terms of if you want to get any clarification, there's always an open door policy from GRP where you can definitely reach out and ask us question even during the application, but also getting an opportunity to get all the details and the information via the sessions such as this. Also, timely feedback. I think we received feedback timely as it was stipulated in the website and of course in the documents for the proposal. And after getting the feedback that we are part of the finalists that were shortlisted, we got a massive opportunity to be part of Leadership Academy, an interesting session that if we are comparing to the other grants, I think this is a great avenue where, I mean, knowledgeable projects in East Africa we were put it together, and then we were sharing experiences, and then we got capacity building in terms of leadership skills, in terms of listening skills, in terms of how to work as a team, and a pool of expertise were coming. It was really interesting, really practical, learning from the people ahead us, and luckily getting the mentorship. We had a great mentorship sessions, and the mentorship sessions actually have got some stages. During the proposal building in terms of technical and financial proposal, we had a massive support from the mentor, but also after being shortlisted as the final awardees, we were now carrying on our mentorship session in a good time. Every time you need, I mean, you get help, and it is really interesting and really helpful. So other parts of support, we were able to receive communication support. In the communication support, specifically for our project, we got our project infographic where it was through GRP and communication team, they were able to help us come up with infographic for our project, which now we are using it in our website, in our social media, we are using it in our proposals, and it's really, really helping because you just attach it in the applications and you get, you make it so easy to communicate our project. Also, the meal monitoring, evaluation, and learning support in terms of how you do the reportings, the indicators, periodic interventions. I think this is also one of the great areas, so that we were able to do our and recording success. Also, we were able to get financial reward on time, and hence that helped us to implement our activities in good time and of course achieve the desirable outcomes as we were expecting. The great opportunity that is I'm happy to share with everyone Investors Forum, which was held in New York, and I'm glad that I was able to be part of it, whereby it was a great forum where you meet with potential investors, you make networking, partnerships, and of course, it's an avenue to learn as well from the other successful interventions in the innovation space. So from that particular forum, the investor forum, we were also able to scale up our innovation and, of course, expand our revenue sources in terms of getting investors coming on board to implement our projects. So that was a great one. And also great experience with GRP. I think the site visit, so that they are able to experience what is happening on the ground with the beneficiaries of our projects. That gave us an upper hand of them interacting directly with our beneficiaries. So generally, I think the experience is great, and I'm really encouraging everyone to be part of the call, respond the call, and I'm pretty sure that the experience that I was able to get, you can definitely get that. So that's it. I don't have much to share, but I'm open if anyone wants more details. I'm available in social media, LinkedIn, and also I'm inviting, I think Gerald maybe would share the email, and I'll be more than happy to even share further. Thank you so much, and I'm rolling it over back to you, Gerald.
Thank you so much, Hamisi, for such a wonderful remarks and also experience of working with GRP Innovation Challenges. And in that, now I would like to invite everyone to a question and answer session, whereby we'll be happy to respond to any of your question. I see there's a couple already in the chat. But also you are welcome to raise your hands and to unmute and ask your question. But in the meantime, we'll read the questions that are in the chat, but also our team on the background are working to make sure that your question in the chat are answered in the chat or can be answered live. So please raise your hand now and unmute yourself if you want to ask any question. And also, as Hamishi said, we will be posting the email address for Hamisi in case you want to get to learn more about the application process and also work with GRP. The email will be provided in the chat and you can reach out to him anytime. Yes, please. Any question? Any hand raised? I'm gonna read some of the questions that I think on the charts that can be answered here.
There's
Yes?
a question from Stacy from Ignitia that I flagged for answering live. Let's go to that one.
Okay. Use of funds scope that you support, business maturity that you support. So as you can see on our call for proposal, we are targeting early stage, idea stage solutions, innovations on the that are using AI on the humanitarian preparedness context. So the idea could be as new as still not yet starting implementing, looking for funds to start implementing idea. It could be already set in motion in terms of implementing, but need still move from that idea stage to seed stage. So the business maturity that you support is fall within the same area as we say it's the early stage before the seed stage. So as our funding is mentioned, it's between 10,000 to 50,000 US dollar that will be provided for likely winner, and that is actually to make sure that they are able to move the idea from that early stage to the next stage, and also attract an additional financing for scale. Do we have any hands? Sorry, I cannot see maybe my screen.
I don't see him.
Okay, Peru not possible for funding. Peru is eligible for funding as it is part of the ODA country. So you're welcome for that.
Gerald, it was also flagged that the work plan in the submittable form is not functioning. So I think that's something we need to address, and maybe good for everyone to know that we will look into that and fix that today. Some people have had issues working with it, and I checked the submissions that are coming in, and it's not possible to upload that. So that's an error on our side, and we'll fix it today.
Okay, we'll look into that. Yes, can a proposal be submitted in a joint partnership between different companies? Yes, that is possible. But there has to be a lead company. If you look on our submittable or the guidelines for applications, these provide you with more information in terms of the lead organization, the support organization, or any other. So yeah, 2 organizations or businesses are welcome to submit a joint application. Does Albania qualify as upper middle income country?
Yeah,
Corina,
I have
Yes
it
or
open
no?
because I was checking Peru. Peru is indeed only eligible, and so is Albania.
Okay. You can still raise your hand and ask a question here live. Well, that also is welcome.
We have Usman who would like to ask a question, so I'll allow him.
Okay. Please go ahead. Please go ahead, Isman. Isman, please, if you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you. Please go ahead.
So my question is, how many organizations do you think you want this run?
Pardon,
And is there like how many organizations, how many countries or organizations are you going to award this grant? And are you looking at geographical location? Or it's like if all the organizations are selected from Africa, then or how do you
Apologies, Usman, but we cannot clearly get you as there's seem to be echo, but also some background noise. If you could just repeat
Can you hear me now?
your question. Yes, now I think we can hear a little bit better. Hello, Usman, you still there?
I think he was asking how many organizations we're planning to award and how many, and is this based on geographic locations?
Thanks, Ida, for catching that. So we do not have a distribution of winners geographically. We look for innovative solutions across those eligible countries, and we review and award according to how they meet the eligibility criteria, but also show to meet the requirement of this award. So there's no distribution geographically, like we award 10 to Africa, maybe 5 to. So it's depending on the substantive of the application, but also how that's performed during the review process. But in terms of how many, the finalists will be not more than 15, say, and also the grants awarded will be not more than 10 organizations across the challenge. There's a question from Pearl and also Manuel about the recording of the webinar. So as I mentioned during the opening of the webinar, this session will be recorded and will be shared online. So you can access this recording. If you missed part of that, you can access this on our website, but also on our social media. This will be posted there. So you do not worry if you missed an initial part of this.
I think Usman had his hand up again.
I think it was a legacy hand. I just
Oh,
go
okay,
with it.
fine.
Okay, great. Any other question, please? Just unmute yourself and raise your hands.
Oh, his hand is back up, so maybe Usman.
Yeah, Usman, please go ahead again. Usman, are you able to hear us? Okay. Just continue to put your question on the chat and we will be answering them as they come. Okay, just to reiterate again, on this submittable, you can start your application at any time before the deadline, and also save it as a draft if you'd like to work on it at sometimes later. So the submittable allows you to do that. And also there's a helpline within the submittable portal that could give you access directly to the submittable technician if you're experiencing any challenge in terms of accessing the submittable, submitting your application, or not able to see anything. But if it's something beyond that, you are also welcome to send an email to the challenge fund email at Global Resilience Partnership, and we'll be able to get back to you as soon as possible to answer your question. But yeah, you can be able to start your application and finish it at any time before the deadline. Then you can be able to save it as a draft while you continue to work on that.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, Osman, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. My question, I would like to ask two questions. I've already first one. What kind of AI intervention for participatory action are you most eager to fund? Most efficient predictive modeling, early warning system, this logistic optimization, or something else that you want to fund or you prepare to fund? And secondly, is there any specific humanitarian sector, such as the food security, health system, displacement, you would particularly encourage applicants to target in their applications?
Thank you, Osman. Maybe Simone, could I put you on spot for this?
Yes, for the second question, we do want you to focus on climate emergencies and anticipatory action. I can share the definition of that in the chat shortly. And in terms of solutions, we've given some in our guidance document. So this includes hyperlocal early warning systems, anticipatory cache triggers, health resilience, artificial intelligence, heat risk mapping for the urban poor, index insurance optimization. And we have some further details on how we interpret those solutions. But I think the key is here that you can surprise us. So we don't have any specific priority. We will look at every solution with interest. We don't know what the best solutions are. We don't know what the state of the art is. You do. So surprise us, give us your best, and then the best solutions will be selected. We have a panel of expert mentors who do know a lot more at least than I do about artificial intelligence. So they will support us and look at the technical components. But we don't have specific interventions that we're looking for. So the question is back to you. What do you have for us? Please surprise us and wow us. Yeah.
Thank you, Simone. Osman, hope that answers your question, and also I've seen that on the chat. So thanks, that has been clarified. I still see your hands up. You still have any more questions? Great. Any more live question, please raise your hand and Ida will let you in to ask your question.
There's another question online. If the proposal needs to be confined or restricted to climate emergency cases, or if it can include chronic climate problems as well. And we do write in the guidance document that we are also open to more chronic stresses or recurring droughts. So it's both.
Please continue to post your questions on the chat, but also raise your hand if you want to ask question directly. We'll give it a few more minutes to receive your questions. And as again, you're welcome to follow us on our social media. I think we have more of this information available in there, especially LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and other social media. And also on our website, all the information in terms of the eligibility, it is there. Okay, so I see there's no more questions, and I'm glad there has been quite a number of questions in the Q&A. So thanks a lot for all. Yeah, there's a question. Is it all right to incorporate the livelihoods options in the proposed resilience project? And then, okay, and please share Hami's email. I'll just share the Hami's email. While I can put my colleague on the spot here, while I'm sending the Hami's email on the chat. Corina or Simone, you want to take that?
I can, if the question is if this is restricted to AI, it needs to have an AI element, but you can have AI connected to livelihoods. That is fine, but there are certain requirements for eligibility. So it needs to be incorporating an AI, artificial intelligence element, either related to climate emergencies and or anticipatory action. So yes, you can have, I mean, a lot of solutions will have livelihood building components, but it would need more than that.
I would also add, and maybe also a reminder to have a look in the guidance documents for the Global Resilience Partnership's MEL indicator guidance. You might find some useful information in there in terms of how do we monitor progress as well. So not necessarily for the finalists, but for the winners, they will have to report on two core indicators. Number one being people supported, the second core indicator being finance mobilized. And in there, in the guidance document, we provide more information on what actually qualifies as people supported and finance mobilized. So you might want to also have a think about the indicators and use the guidance in that document to structure your project proposal and the activities that you're planning on submitting as part of this.
Thank you, Corina. A few more questions I can see. Can you share the website? Yes, you can just share the website here. Okay,
Can
thanks,
you
Simone.
answer the question that I marked from Usman to be answered live? It's, I think, a nice one for Jasper. And Usman
Apart from
can-
grants and funding, are there ways to partner with you, and what channel best to be used for this? You want to just take this?
Sure thing. Thank you, Usman, for the question. Yes, there are. I mean, obviously, this particular webinar is focused on the TECH4Resilience call for proposal. But if you, I think, step one, check out our website and see if there are other areas that you can identify as interesting. I gave an overview in the beginning of the other areas where we work, and be happy to set something up and explore what we can do. I obviously need to know what you do in more detail to answer with any kind of sense to it. But that would be lovely. I believe you have some of our emails, so just reach out to us. I'm saying that because I think it was on the presentation. And we can explore that for sure.
Thank you, Jasper. Okay, I think there's no other question on the chat or no hand raised. Yeah, let me just say this. Okay, thanks so much, Uma, for your questions and also for participating in this. So, as I've mentioned on the dates and timelines for this challenge, the deadline is on the 31st of August this year, around midnight GMT. So please make sure that if you have started your application on the draft, just make sure that you complete it and submit it on time, and we'll be able to look at it. You will receive confirmation from Submittable. Once you submit your application, the Submittable will send you confirmation that your application has been received, GRP, and it will be part of the review process the month of September. Yeah, having said that, so I think I would like to thank everybody for making time to participate in this challenge. And as I mentioned, if you have any further questions, the address to send the email is available on the guidelines for application, but also on our website. Please send your question or seek clarification on the challenge at globalresiliencepartnership.org, and we will do our best to respond to all inquiries within 3 working days. So I would like to thank my panelists, but also tech support for actually being with us on this, but also contributing to this. Maybe Jesper and Simone, just final words before we close the webinar.
Simone, you want to say something?
I can turn my camera on because I'm no longer frantically answering all your questions. And it was a nice one this time. I had prepared some questions, so it went faster than normally. I wish you all good luck. I'm really looking forward to your solutions. We're quite excited by this. I'm really excited by the promise that artificial intelligence poses. There are risks, of course, but there's a lot of promise. And we look to you, the experts, as I said, to surprise us and to wow us with your solutions. And then I look forward to collaborating with some of you. Jesper?
You said all the important stuff, so just thank you, everyone, and hope to receive your applications. And thanks, team, for organizing a great webinar.
Thank you, Jesper. Thank you, Simone. And thanks the team for making this happen. Thank you so much for making your time to attend this webinar. We're looking forward to receive your application and also looking forward to answer any question you might have regarding the application process and the Submittable. And we wish you best of luck in this challenge. And yeah, we will be communicating all the way forward through to the shortlist by end of September. So in this regard, I think we're coming to an end of this webinar. The webinar recording will be available on our website and social media. So please reach out if you have not seen that, and we'll be able to share that. You can just see yourself, and if you have any further question, please ask a question. So thank you so much, and we will work on the Submittable on what you've identified on the work plan. Thank you so much.